Chapter 2, Part 2. During the 5th month of his secret life, intelligence officers visited his family home for the last time. His mother was suffering from exhaustion and was unable to get out of bed. His comrades kept reassuring him whenever he asked about her. "She is fine. Rest assured there is nothing new with her." When he asked them to relay a message to her, they had a ready response. "Be patient until things quiet down a bit more. The moment is not suitable now." A little before midnight, 2 officers knocked on the door to his family's house. "Good evening. May we come in for a bit?" They entered without waiting for an answer to their question, which was merely a pretense for politeness, a unique form of insolence and a technique mastered only by intelligence officers. "Sorry to disturb you. Where is Kanan? Can we see her?" "She is sick and cannot get out of bed," answered his brother, who was not accustomed to seeing or talking to them. "May she get well soon. Can we see her?" Without waiting for permission, the officers started moving toward her bedroom, and with an artificial and affected gentleness, they both went on to ask his mother about her health and her ailment, wishing her a speedy recovery. After these preambles, they moved on to the reason for their visit. "How is Kanan doing?" "How should we know? Since he left 5 months ago, he has not been back. Don't you know something about him? Swear to God that you have not arrested him." His mother answered and asked questions with steady nerves. She was putting on an act to hide the inescapable anxiety she felt from the presence of strangers in her house and next to her bed. "Are you making fun of us? Would we come asking about him if we had him in custody?" one of them replied irritably, revealing his lack of experience. The other one, realizing this, tried to cover for the irritability of the first. "It's strange credulity that you should be so sick that you're unable to get out of bed, and he doesn't come to visit you? It is credible. That is, you assume he knows I am sick. May God ease his path wherever he is. I want nothing from him. I have people to help me. He has many brothers." No, that is not credible. You are his mother. Doesn't he come to check on you just for a moment? What sort of son is that? Does he not come even for 5 minutes to wish you a happy holiday? Wasn't it Easter just a few days ago? What sort of son does not visit his mother for the holiday when she is sick? I told you I know nothing about his whereabouts, and no, he did not come. Why do you go on for so long with this pointless conversation? The 2 officers struggled in vain to control their reactions so as to avoid provocation, but they failed. "We have his pictures. The Popular Front cannot help him," one of them bellowed, revealing his true nature and showing the fangs of the occupier. "We will bring him to you on a stretcher with 10 bullets in his head." He released all the bile inside him before the sick mother, then left. A week later, the party sent him a message that buoyed his spirit and gave him some stability. "Write to your mother and let her know that she can write back to you. We will arrange some way for you to exchange letters with her without risk." He started walking, talking to himself. "What will you write about, Kanan? About why you left her a week after your father's death and why you were no longer to be seen? How will you tell her that the phrase 'for now' would be deleted from the sentence 'I will not turn myself in for now'? Do you suppose that she will understand your party's need for professional revolutionaries, or its need for a revolutionary organizational structure in the homeland, or your infatuation with adventure and distinction? What will you tell her about Muna, whom she loved like her own daughter? The Muna to whom you got engaged to envelop her in your arms as your bride, only to exile yourself between 4 walls? Will you describe your life to her for the last months and the struggle between the I and the we in the recesses of your brain? What will you write, Kanan?" Kanan was pacing, pen in hand, clicking it with his middle finger. A blank page of paper on the table was waiting for the distillation of his thoughts and anxieties, waiting for letters, words, and sentences he would pen for his father's widow to read, the one suffering because of him, the one afflicted by her chronic disease. What sort of position was he in now? When he was permitted to write to her, he was happier than he had been for months. But he now found this task to be a burden. He had previously written to her from prison about missing her and about life in captivity. He usually told her, "It's all right. Endure, my dearest mother. Soon I will be with you." If this pen could not come to his rescue back then, his tongue was up to the task, but he saw her during the monthly prison visits. But now there was so much before him to explain that was unfathomable, like swimming in a sea with no shore or traveling as an astronaut in the infinity of space, not knowing when he would arrive. If the pen could not come to his rescue, when would he see her in person, considering the eyes that were keeping watch over the house and monitoring his mother's movements? He sat down again, but jumped right back up. He looked out of the window at the trees in the garden, clicking his pen. He finally sat down and at the table and wrote, "My dearest mother, I send you many, many kisses. Before I go on, do not forget to burn this letter after you are through reading it. Do not mention it to anyone, neither in detail nor in passing conversations. This concerns my secret life, and any mistake could put me in danger." He put the pen down on the table, his tongue coagulating from the tension he felt and his resentment for his current situation. Even the simplest manifestations of my relationship with my mother acquires a party dimension due to the fact that the letter I write requires a decision by the party and the agreement of the party. My first sentence to her is a command, giving instructions as though I were addressing a cell or a comrade. My letter will get through to her through security arrangements, and her reply will reach me through a similar arrangement. What is left? Should I have begun my letter in the following fashion? "Dear comrade mother, a warm comradely salute to you," and should I conclude it like this? "Onwards, your comrade's son, K." He smiled bitterly at his sarcasm. Kenan started to realize, some months back, ever since he began his secret life, that all relations in his secret environment would be under the patronage of the party, that his secret life would reformulate those relationships. However, realizing this is one thing and living it is quite another. From the first line he wrote, his mother was instructed to appreciate the seriousness of his position so that she could learn the rules of the game. He was aware of the significance of his imperative introduction. One word out of place here or there would begin the logical unraveling. A word would work itself into the prattle of old folks and busybodies. The ears of the intelligence services would pick up the gossip in the streets, and their eyes would set about for more surveillance operations. Surveillance is the death of secret political organizing. Surveillance tears it apart and attacks its communications, activities, and hideouts. The eyes of the enemy infiltrate into the fortress of the party, and soon the party and its internal world would be laid out on their table. What sort of clandestine work would that be? The coarseness of the preamble, its imperative nature, and its arrangements constitute a strategic guarantee, for in the final analysis, if an experience is not transformed into history, it is not worth a red cent. He went back to writing once his consternation and the congestion of his thoughts passed. "Take care of your health and do not worry. The party and the comrades are looking after me very well. I am eating well. I can cook mulukia and kusa masi. Did you ever imagine your son would become so creative? I am sleeping well, my time is fully occupied, and I do not suffer from boredom." He was lying in order to make it a bit easier for her to bear. In fact, he could not cook anything at that stage of his secret life. Sleep was elusive, flirting with him, yet averting his advances. Boredom was killing him, and his nerves were incapacitating him. I hope that you will understand my position, even if it entails difficulties for you. I have chosen my path in life, the path of resistance in the name of our people and the freedom of our homeland. Your little son has grown up and has the right to choose his path in life, and you are fully entitled to be proud of my path. You have made a man out of me. What sort of a man would I be if I remained an idle spectator while our homeland was occupied and our people enslaved and I did nothing? All I want from you is to take care of your health. You can best support me by repeating that dear expression which I have been carrying with me since I left the house 5 months ago. Go, my son. May God be pleased with you. Repeat it constantly to yourself, and be confident that I can hear you. He wrote and he wrote. He tried to convince her that his choice was right, but he knew that all the reasons concocted by the philosophers of the world could not convince a mother to push her sons far from her embrace, whether he be a crawling toddler or a man of mature age whose hair was turning gray. He concluded the letter with instructions, as at the beginning. Please stick strictly to the arrangements my comrades made to pick up your letter for your sake and mine. I send you my warmest kisses. Your faithful son, K. A week after she received his letter, she sent a reply. The waiting killed him. He waited to see what she would say. He was eager to see the words she penned as they climbed and descended above and below the line, her words in the vernacular mixed with classical Arabic. My dear son, my heart is satisfied with you, and I pray God is satisfied too. How are you? How are you living? May God curse this world for separating us. Don't worry about me. What is important is you. Cook and nourish yourself. Tell the comrades to buy you everything you need. Ask them to do so. Keep yourself warm. It gets cold at night. May God be blessed with you wherever you may be. You are a man, and you know what is good for you. He teared up as he read her words, confronted with her motherly tenderness. He lost himself imagining her in the kitchen, scolding him when he stole a bit of what she was cooking, dozing off in front of the television, sitting with him on the balcony, peeling oranges and handing him some to try. She always gave him the sweet bits while she ate the sour ones. He recalled when she would try to wake him up in the early hours of dawn so he could study. He remembered her respecting his privacy when he was with Muna. She is going to be traveling for rest and to treat her illness, which is a good thing. She asked about the possibility of future correspondence. He informed his comrades of her request. You know that correspondence after she leaves is going to be difficult. A letter can go astray if not delivered by hand. You know this better than anyone. I know, he said, defeated, and continued. I cannot write that to her. You must tell her yourselves. All right. Contradictions still challenged him. The party had taught him about the law of the unity and the struggle of opposites, the theory of dialectical materialism. He had learned all of this at a young age, hovering with a group of teenagers around a former prisoner who answered all of their questions while they smoked unfiltered Omar cigarettes. But Kanan could not understand the current situation, the opposites struggling in his brain. Mind against tense nerves, I against we, human needs and political obligations. A conflict between these terms raged on in his life for the first few months. The party was part of the conflict. The party was the embodiment of the we, the mind and the requirements of the job. From time to time, he too aimed his rifle and fired a word at the tense nerves, a message for calm, for reconciliation, for silence. He called those messages morphine injections. He accepted the word of the party with an eagerness that rarely left him. However, when the tense nerves were particularly well entrenched and his needs and desires bit into his flesh, he merely shrugged his shoulders and paid no heed to what the party was saying. Read and write, for the magazine is in need of writers. Write letters to the base. Compose studies. I can't. My nerves are tired and exhausted. I have writer's block. Read the novels. There isn't one that I haven't read. Exercise. That will activate the body and the mind. Weren't you an athlete once? Where should I swim? In the bathtub? Or should I play soccer in the kitchen? Physical fitness training does not require a playing field. Exercise nourishes the soul as well as the body. The issue is more complicated than that. Sitting still like this drives me crazy. You will get used to it. How? You people don't know what you are talking about. How do I get used to having no life? Am I not a human being? Yes, we do know. The experience of the group is more significant than the experience of the individual. You will get used to it. I am the one buried in here, not you. I'm the one who is imprisoned behind locked doors, not you. We understand and appreciate that. We are in solidarity with you, but you need to calm down. You need to think calmly. You will get used to it. I am calm, but I want tasks. Tasks will come later. You must allow things to settle down now after the assault. You must allow your case to turn cold. Wait until your name is forgotten. I did not enter the house to sit down. I want to act. You have years of action ahead of you. Don't be hasty. Think of the long run, not the moment. But the current situation is killing me. It is unbearable. Did I revolt in order to turn into a housewife? To sweep, cook, and clean? That will end. You will remember what you are saying now and laugh. Be a man and endure it. My needs and desires are consuming me, like wolves tearing into my flesh. This is understood and quite natural. You must beat them. Don't let them get the best of you, otherwise they will overwhelm you. Deprivation is blowing them out of proportion. This talk does not concern me. I am a human being. I am not made of stone. That is why you are fit to be a revolutionary. It is because you are a human being that you are capable of freezing your needs and desires for a greater cause. Can human instincts and needs be frozen? Yes, they can. That is what experience has shown us. Through patience and endurance, one can cleanse the self. Endure and cleanse your inner self well. Being revolutionary requires this. It will increase your enthusiasm for a secret life. Your agreement to the December decision is like carrying soap and a brush. Now scrub. Scrub well and cleanse the inner self, the ego. Clean it of the dirt in the eye. He knew the party was right, but how could his tired nerves and riled up ego accept that? The experience had not delivered its final judgment yet. It had not molded him in its own special way and hadn't leavened him with its own yeast. He had yet to become an example of the party's vision. For that, he understood that he would need to be calm, he would need to reawaken his gentle nature, and carry out the struggle with a revolutionary self that is not aggressive and inflamed. The party was not planning for the long term, not for the present moment. It was trying to make a revolutionary out of him, tempering him on a low fire, like a piece of iron which had yet to be heated. Hanan was thinking about his present. His nerves were raw, his excited inner self was speaking, his ego, not his mind, was governing his tongue. Experience has its foundations and laws, its requirements and rules, and its horizons. All these terms must be satisfied. The experience has to be lived from beginning to end, like a novel which one enjoys reading. Years of experience cannot be skipped over. One cannot tear through its stages. Can one ask a child to grow a mustache? What do you say now, Kanan? Are you savoring the sweetness of the adventure, its uniqueness and distinctiveness? Face it head on and don't be merciful. Face your needs and desires and don't be compromising. Be on the side of the mind, the party, we, and what the job requires. Get used to waking up, not to open the door and leave the house, but to wash, eat breakfast, and sit or walk or watch the passers-by in the street. It is no longer the case, ever since your arrest warrant was issued, that there is a beautiful love with a breathtaking figure waiting for you at the bus stop to accompany you to the university. Your morning meeting with her was your incentive to wake up and hurry, happy and energized. Will you wake up like that today, happy and energized? He used to enjoy seeing those sleepy eyes each morning. Her hair was a mixture of wine red and light brown. They would board the bus, and he intentionally used to squeeze her between himself and the window, beginning the playful morning game of which he had become addicted. He would get closer to her, brush against her more, his elbows secretly toying with her tender and compact waist, his lingering foot touching hers delicately and provocatively. They used to have excitement for breakfast, she being shy as usual, twisting and feigning annoyance while wanting him to go on. She looked forward to this delightful breakfast of playful banter even more than he did. Shame on you, this is embarrassing. However, her eyes would laugh, betraying that her warning was not serious. I am merely practicing my natural and legitimate right, he would answer disdainfully. Love has rights for which I am ready to fight the whole world. She answered with a look that aroused him more than it scared him. Her eyes always had that effect on him. All these memories now, Canaan. For months now, all that has been in the past. No breakfast bantering, no elbow toying, no thigh touching, no arousing eyes. Tomorrow that will still be just a memory. It is a beautiful memory, but it is just so. Understand that and stop torturing yourself. Do not bring up memories and arouse your instincts. That is a torment which brings pain to your nervous system and your body. Talk, Canaan, about how you enjoyed the sweet taste of adventure, its uniqueness and distinctiveness. There is no room anymore for it, for family and friends, for people, the bus, the university, your breakfasts. Your mind tells you to get used to paying the bill for your adventure. Did you think it would be without a cost? Can't you feel it on your skin throughout your days and hours? Pay it without hesitation and go forward. Did you not sacrifice your love for the choice you made? Pay it. Everything will be easy now that you have paid the price of losing Muna. Was there anything in your life more precious than she was? You loved her madly, as you told her. There is a different kind of madness ahead of you now. Pay and proceed. He paid for the loss of Muna after much suffering, though still he ruminated on what it cost him. He opened the door for her and she walked out of his life. She left and he entered. She still occupies a place in your heart and your mind. Months after she walked out the door, you used to fall asleep at the break of dawn, overcome by fatigue, thinking about her, insomnia wreaking havoc on your nerves, as you turned over each moment you had spent with her. The breakfast banter, sitting in close contact with each other at the university cafeteria, the daily lunch of falafel sandwiches with tea, walking together on your way back from the university, the moments of discussion, joking, singing, dispute, the moments of pleasure and elation, the days of university strikes which you two made use of, the days alone together in love. You did not harbor a grudge against her or hate her, rather you retained a beautiful memory and image of her. Having loved someone, can one hate one's former lover? A single critical remark once from a friend instigated a sharp response from you. All that was still engraved in his mind after months and months. When he remembered her, he remembered something beautiful. It was as though she had not left him alone to struggle with the walls and the doors at the moment that he needed her. He did not find her next to him at the moment he wanted to destroy the walls with his bare hands. Had she been there, she could have drawn his head to her bosom and told him, "Calm down and endure." He did not find her in the moments when he desired her. Canaan had forgiven her, perhaps because he understood why she had done what she did. He understood and he forgave. Perhaps he forgave because he loved her. To love is to forgive those we love. He told her, "I understand without trying to understand." In fact, he did understand and did not give way to resentment or hatred. Often he felt pity for her. Whoever hangs on to trivial choices arouses pity. Now he sits at home and waits for her future husband. What sort of choice is that? What sort of misery did she bring down on herself as a woman? He used to conjure her up before him. He often talked to her and discussed things with her. What he found most suffocating was that she had put herself at the mercy of fate. He was waiting for the future husband. She was waiting for the future husband that her father would bring home, as though they were buying a watermelon. Either it would be ripe and red, or it would be bad and gritty, the luck of the draw. Either her father's purchase would be successful or not. It was a matter of luck, no more. What miserable position have you found yourself in, testing your luck with a man as you would with a watermelon? He used to pity her and to curse in his imagination. The weak deserved to be pitied. One of his comrades once gave an assessment of Muna in front of him. She is weak to the point of extinction as a being. Canaan could not accept that and got angry, although he knew it was an accurate assessment. He would often be frank with her. Weakness is a loss of the ability to rebel. It is taking orders and being led around. It is obliteration of the personality. All these are symptoms for a person who accepts not to have a place under the sun. She was that person. Now you are on the threshold of ending your years of secrecy, holed up in your stone den while they attempt to break down your door. Have you wondered why you have kept tabs on her for 9 years? Is your love for her still alive in your heart? Certainly not. Do you see it as your yearning for the woman she was, leading to nothingness in a moment of pain? Perhaps. Was your interest in her the result of beautiful memories? Perhaps. You kept up with her life as one would open the file on a prime suspect, thoroughly following her news every chance you got. She finished her studies and got a job, and you were happy for her. She was waiting at home for the man on a white horse, so you pitied her for her miserable choice. Her mother wanted her daughter's watermelon to be a man in a high position. You recalled her dependency and the obliteration of her personality. You read in a newspaper that she had gotten engaged to a man in a high position, and you tore up the paper. You lit a cigarette, your faithful friend, and you started pacing from wall to wall in the burning rage. Then she got married, and her choice of a life fit for triviality and misery was complete. All you could do was smoke and curse. She moved to another city, and you followed her with your inquiries and monitoring agents. She gave birth to a girl, and to conceal your bitterness, you joked. We had agreed on having a boy. You also opened a file for the man in a high position and investigated his history and relationships and his world and their life together. You did not lose your interest in her. You had formed a picture of her as the only woman in your life, and you lived with that picture year after year. Such is the secret life. Pictures in your memory of the girlfriend, the mother, the comrade.